Hi friends, welcome to Simple DevOps. As per the definition, DevOps is a practice that combines the development and IT operations. Why do we need a DevOps? To shorten the software development lifecycle and provide the continuous delivery with high software quality. Shorten the software development lifecycle is nothing but within a software development lifecycle, each and every stage will be shortened, like coding, testing, deployment. These steps will be faster if we have a DevOps engineer so that we can deliver the software more frequently with high quality. That's the main aim of the DevOps engineer. And let's talk about a little bit IT operations. What is IT operations? Most of the time, IT operations team will be maintained and managed our desktops, laptops, and servers. Why why the DevOps engineer needs to be part of IT operations? As a DevOps engineer, he needs to deploy the developed code onto the servers. So he no need to go and ask for IT operations team for develop to deploy this application whatever has been developed. So that is the main reason. So DevOps engineer will be kind of having a knowledge on IT operations as well, how the IT operations happen, how the servers will be created, and how the softwares will be deployed on the servers. This kind of knowledge. At the same time, software development lifecycle. He also needs to aware the software development lifecycle, how the software has been, you know, uh, developed and can be built, and as well as can be deployed, and as well as can be tested. These everything as part of the SDLC. These all the steps will be covered by the DevOps engineer by building the software, deploying the software, and testing the software, and making sure it's all available uh, as per the requirements by the management or the organization needs. Yeah, yeah. If you see the development life cycle and IT operation side, this diagram represents what are the things falls under development life cycle and IT operations. So in development life cycle, you can see planning, analysis, design, and implementation, testing, and maintenance. This is a general SDLC pattern which follows by almost all the organization. We say planning, analysis, design, and the implementation. Implementation planning is where normally the all the software kind of okay. Development life cycle. This slide represents a This slide represents the software development lifecycle and IT operations. In the software development lifecycle, there are various stages where um, where planning, analysis, design will happen. After design, we'll started implementing the code and testing and maintenance. So as part of the implementation, people started writing the code. Once they started writing the code, they will build the code. At the same time, the next thing will be the testing the code, and if there is any integration with any other softwares or any other third party, those all the integrations will be tested. At the same time, once it has been done, we'll deploy the code and we'll maintain the code. Like we'll deploy the code and we'll send it to production. If there is any hot fixes or bug fixes, again this planning, analysis, design, implementation, testing, and maintenance will. It's a kind of cycle. Like there is no kind of if there is any issue, if there is any issue occurred in the maintenance phase, like in the production, uh, we'll open the ticket, and then there will be planning, analysis, design, and the implementation. In the implementation phase, they will write a kind of code, and the testing phase will do some kind of automation test or manual test. And once it is done, then it will be deployed, and again it's a kind of maintenance. If there is any issues, again it's a kind of, this is a kind of cycle which happens for every each and every instance of the software development. When it comes to IT operations, as I mentioned, as part of IT operations like laptops, servers, networking, operating system, each and every kind of these are the stuff which follows under IT operations. Yeah. So challenges without DevOps. So without DevOps, what will happen? So there are a lot of dependencies and blaming each other, process visibility, and more documentation, more time, troubleshooting, and project delivery business. So when it comes to dependencies, so if you see the right side diagram, the development team and the QA team and operations team. These are the three individual teams. They have their own kind of the team members, and um, they have their own targets and everything. So when the software development is done, like when they want to do deployment, what'll happen is they are dependent on the operation team. They are dependent on the QA team for testing. Why they need to dependent on the operation team is whatever the software they have developed, it has to be deployed on the server so that QA team can test it. So these are the dependencies. If you don't have a if you have a DevOps engineer will take care of building the software, deploying the software into the server, and telling the QA engineer to test it. So he will take care of uh, these three things at the same time. And when it comes to blaming each other, like if you don't have a DevOps engineer, what happens is if development team written some code, and if they're giving the build code into the operations team to deploy, when they deploy the code, something's not working. So they think that there is something wrong in the code level. The development team says that it's all like whatever the instructions or whatever the code which you are getting, it's everything is properly working and everything is running fine. So there is a gap. So that gap makes people kind of the misunderstood, and they can't really easily see what exactly the problem is. So that's where the blaming each other comes into picture, and the process visibility, and they won't be having a clear understanding. Management won't be having a clear understanding what exactly happening within these teams, and where is the kind of the status of the release. Where is it? Is it blocked at development stage? Is it blocked at build phase? Is it blocked at deploy phase? Is it blocked at testing phase? So that kind of visibility. And about more documentation, so as part of development, developers do the developing the code. At the same time, they have to write some kind of instructions so that operations team can deploy the code into the service. So then as operations team doesn't have any clue about development, they just follow the each and every instruction and deploy the code. So there is a kind of lot of documentation required because of the operation guy doesn't know anything about development and the deployment instructions. So uh, yeah, we have to spend more time on the documentation. Yeah, as it comes to as I mentioned, more time, it is more time like in terms of troubleshooting, and in terms of documentation, in terms of um, uh, communication between the overall, getting the overall visibility and everything, and also the troubleshooting part as I mentioned before. So if there's any issue comes, we have to literally go to each and every team and ask for where the issue is, because of operation team doesn't have any clue about how the development system works, and how to build the code, how to deploy the code. They follow most of the times set of instructions whatever is given by the development team. Yeah. And at the same time, as these things like a time taking process, it will ultimately lead into the project delivery. Yeah, that's nothing but business delivery. Yeah, these are the challenges which normally you see if you don't have a DevOps engineer. Hope you all like my video. Thanks for watching.